Hi guys, while you're on, I'm getting close to that magic 1,000 subscribers mark. Please help a guy out, hit the subscribe button. Thanks and enjoy the video. Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Warhammer the Old World. Sorry it's been a while since I've been updated, but I've been waiting patiently for Warhammer Fest and in the hope of getting some fantastically brilliant information about Warhammer the Old World. So I'm going to throw a few pictures up now because I went on the Sunday knowing that they were going to do the talk about the Old World at 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, which I attended, and they showed a 1.5 minute video of some new models they've got, and it was interesting. Now, earlier on one of my earlier videos, and this was from the Warhammer community, they were talking about the time of the Three Kingdoms, and they were talking about Empire. Now, I assumed that Empire was going to be the first faction, but it's not. It looks like they're going to release Bretonnia and Tomb Kings first, and they're going to update some models for various factions. So first ones they're going to release is they've done this nice new Tomb King and a Bretonnian Paladin. These were going to be in Forge World resin. They're not going to be in the normal Games Workshop resin. It's going to be the Forge World stuff. So it should be decent models. The new models are really nice. However, I don't collect Tomb Kings. They don't appeal to me. The model's nice. Don't get me wrong. I really like the model, but I don't think I'll be getting Tomb Kings. Bretonnians, maybe. The other thing that was mentioned was there will be a increase in base sizes, and there's going to be a document coming out sometime shortly with the new base sizes for the miniatures. Apparently most, if not all, of the models will get a base size increase. Which to me is a good thing, because when I put my figures, a lot of my Empire guys are on 20mm square bases, and when I put them on into a movement tray, I have to fit them in a certain way so they'll actually fit in the movement tray because of the weapons, etc. They don't actually fit. So if the bases were bigger, then they will fit into the movement tray better. What I plan on doing is I'm going to make some custom movement trays. When this document comes out from Games Workshop with regards to what the sizes are going to be, say my Empire swordsmen are going to go from 20 to 25mm bases, I will create the movement tray with the base adapters built in, so I can just put my 20mm based figures into this movement tray, but they will actually be the same footprint as if they were on the 25mm bases. Now, I can't do this obviously until I know what size bases they're going to be. So when this document comes out, I will do a video and update on that, and I'll let you know what the bases are going to be. Another thing we spoke about is what armies they're going to be working on initially. And now I understand why they're doing this, because this obviously is to keep costs down, and I'm sure that if Warhammer the Old World takes off and does really well, then they will expand what they're doing. But what they said was that initially they will they will release some new models. So it's probably going to be new, like the Tomb King and the Paladin, some new resin miniatures for Tomb Kings, Empire, Britannia, Orcs, maybe Chaos, because it's sort of around that time. I think they're going to be the factions that they're going to sort of concentrate on at first. They're going to re-release a lot of the old miniatures as well. Obviously, they've still got the molds and that for them, so it's going to be, I'd say, 80% the old miniatures that you've already got with different size bases and some nice new characters, because a lot of the characters that we had in Fantasy Battles were from that time period, whereas this is going to be 1,000 years before the time of the three empires or emperors. So obviously the main characters at that time were different people or different characters. So I think they're going to release new sort of resin characters to lead your armies. They also mentioned that some of the old metal miniatures might come back. Although they're concentrating on these factions, the main ones that they're going to deal with at first, for obvious reasons, it cost. Like everything, it always comes down to cost. They're saying that they are going to release rules so you can play every faction that was available in 8th edition in Warhammer the Old World. So there's going to be obviously rules for miniatures and that you've got to play them. However, there might not be any new models. It'll just be rules to play with the miniatures you've already got. They also mentioned special characters. It's like Karl Franz, who obviously this is set 1,000 years or so before that, so Karl Franz didn't exist, but you can still field Karl Franz as a hero on a griffin. So they are giving you the options to use all the models that you've got in your army. With regards to release date, I was hoping they were going to say, oh, it's going to be released for Christmas this year, but they said that there is no release date yet. So it looks like we're still 12 months away from the happening, which disappointed, because on my video last year, I did say I was hoping that it was going to be out for this Christmas, but that's not looking like it's going to happen now. It's looking like it's going to be at least another year, which is disappointing, but that's the way things go, I'm afraid. Also, what was asked was, will there be a starter set for Warhammer the Old World? And they said that there's not one planned, so they're not planning a starter set. So what I think it's going to be is, I think it's going to be like how Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k is at the moment. We know they do like combat patrol boxes. I think what they're going to do is they're going to sort of do the same thing, and what they'll do is they'll make faction specific boxes, which were like say 500 point value or something like that. So you could buy a box, like a starter army as such. No, you can't call it a combat patrol, can you? I don't know what they'd call it, but sort of that type of thing. It'll be like a Warhammer the Old World scouting force, and it'll be roughly 500 points. So you can buy a scouting force box and a rule book, and away you go. You can put the figures together and you can play your first games of Warhammer the Old World. With the increase in base sizes as well, I think that will be the end to 200 model armies on the table with big blocks of 40 guys. I think what they'll limit that, and think the max size for any unit will be maybe 20 miniatures. But I don't know. That is all speculation. So that's it. That's the main things from Warhammer Fest. I really enjoyed the show. There was over 480 tables playing tournament games. There was the new 10th edition of Warhammer 40k. The new box set is absolutely amazing. The number of figures in it, 150 quid. It's got 47 Nids and 20 odd Marines. I'll put pictures up now of both armies. Really, really nice miniatures. The Tyranids are amazing. The new Screamer Killer one is absolutely massive. It's probably the biggest kit I've ever seen in any starter set that Games Workshop have done. Yeah, just really nice. So anyway, thanks very much for listening. Me waffle on about Warhammer Fest. There'll be, if you go on to the Warhammer community and watch the little video, it doesn't really say much. See you all next time, and again, thanks very much for listening to me waffle.